Hello everybody, it's me, I'm back again. The dog is back from the groomer, and we can continue on with the tutorial. So yeah, where do we stop? I need to add some reagent steps to this, and I'm realizing that if I want to force the player to use something like Flint, I am going to have to do something about selling items, like prevent that somehow. We will think about that later. I gotta figure out what I want to do with that. Let's see. Well, we'll figure that out later. In any case, let's just focus on the straightforward stuff. Hello, V, welcome back. Hello, Necromantic, good to see you again. Home Slice is on a generational run. I hope so. I've been trying to deploy one single VM for a week straight with no success, and I'm reaching my limit. Oh, what are you trying to deploy? Deploying stuff, like especially the initial configuration, can be very not fun. There's a lot of configuration stuff that has to go right. Hello, Ulius. The nose bridge pinch is so real. Yeah. Hello, David. Welcome. Okay, back to the tutorial guide. So we do combat rewards, we do alchemy, post-alchemy, close inventory. So we need to add some more states here. Enter state reagent. Is an event. I guess I'll just do this. I don't know, it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe the better way to do it would be to ctx.runmanager.currentNode.eventType is equal to eventType.reagent. That would be better, I suppose. All right, so we add the reagent state there. Reagent. Now we got to add a tutorial string for that. All right, so this would be tutorial state, reagent. Reagents are special items. Let's do keyword reagent. Special items which have abilities that only take effect in alchemy. Any ability with an keyword alchemy keyword let's see, reagents are special items which are only used in alchemy. Any ability with an alchemy keyword on a reagent on an item will only take effect during alchemy. Let's just streamline that a little bit. Okay, enter state close inventory, private void, enter state reagent. Get try get event node. Here we go. Just copy this. All right, try get event node reagent container. Reagent container. Tutorial state reagent. All right, let's take a look at this. Reagent container. Reagent container. Yeah, we could just use the... Well, maybe not. Enter state reagent. Maybe I want another... Well, maybe not. On inventory state updated. On event committed. Deferred process states is event committed. Oh, interesting. Maybe I add that as a condition here. And is event committed. We'll add a delay. Delay time of 1.5. Okay, so var reagent board is what? Get first non-player owned board, right? Highlight board, reagent board. Where else am I using this? Origin, board, get screen, transform, origin. Half size. I think this would be center position, half size. So we'll say center position plus default left padding plus half size. Times vector 2.left. Highlight keywords, shift left. Okay. So I actually don't need this. If reagent board is equal to null, we'll just return out of there. Okay, let's see. So close inventory. So I want to mark close inventory as correct. Okay, let's see what happens. Not initial, that's the issue. Legacy will be the death of me. Oh, I see. I see. Hello, Necro. Oh, I already said hello to you. Currently on a 20 stream streak, very nice. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 10,000. That is very much appreciated, as always. With the message yummers. And I forgot to build the translations. So my project is starting to get quite complex with all the different components having to interact with each other and function properly. How do you approach architecture and decide what goes where? That is a good question. Complex with all the different components having to interact with each other to function properly. I'm trying to think what I could say that's useful about this. Well, so maybe a lot of the complexity is that you need more support to do the common things that you need to do. So for example, if you find that you need to set up, for example, 5 components to get something to work correctly, and it always needs those 5 components, then what you might consider doing is creating like a meta component, which includes all of those things by default, so that all the complexity is already wrapped up into like maybe a singular point that you can easily include wherever you need it to be. Yeah, I guess it's hard to give exact advice without knowing the context. I guess the problem is I don't know what generalized advice I could give that would be helpful. Because it's very, dependent on like what exactly you're trying to do. Like, is the complexity coming from the fact that you just have to reuse components all the time? Is the complexity coming from the fact that maybe some components are either doing too much or not doing enough, right? Is the complexity coming from, it's hard to get the data that you need to be at the spot that you need it? So I'm realizing that I want to probably change this. Keyword reagent reagents. So now we're going to have the player take the reagents. Now I need to do something with them. And of course we still have the problem of like what happens if the player sells. You know what I could do? I could do something very easy. Selling is not currently available. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could add a placement lock on the sell board. That might work, actually. Let me write that down. I'm also going to have to ensure that all of the largest items possible to take all fit on the player. There's so many like little edge cases. Because if I disable selling, at least for a certain part of the tutorial, then it may be the case that all of the items that the player could choose would not fit in the boards. I don't think that's the case, but I'm going to need to do that until ready to how to sell items. Okay, I think I have a path forward on that though, so hopefully that's good. Okay, state pre-alchemy. Where is that? Here we go. Basically just going to copy this pre-alchemy state. Type reagent is event committed. Okay, so we'll do this. State ID pre-reagent alchemy is in map idle and complete states contains reagent. Okay, pre-reagent state alchemy. Here we go. Pre-reagent or pre-reagent alchemy. Alrighty then. Enter state pre-reagent alchemy. I'm just going to copy the pre-alchemy state here. Oh, goodness gracious. So we are going to set the tutorial locked to here again. Open your inventory to try let us try using a keyword reagent. Okay, tutorial state pre-reagent alchemy. Okay. And then maybe we'll just do private void enter state reagent alchemy. We can simplify this one. It doesn't need to be as sophisticated. So what I'm going to do is I am going to say context dot lint is equal to context.playerboard board inventory component get cards on board dot first or default x dot card definition resource dot id equals card id dot flint, and then we will do context dot inventory board dot board inventory component. I guess I should flip these. Okay. Get screen transform.origin set origin plus default right padding. Get rid of this. Highlight keywords. Tutorial state reagent alchemy. Is that what I called it? Yeah. All the way up here again. Reagent alchemy. Use Flint to add a keyword fire ability to an item. Read carefully as keyword reagents often have special conditions that need to be satisfied. Use an ability. I want to say something about alchemy. use flint in alchemy to add to read carefully, as keyword reagents often have conditions that need to be satisfied. So I will add like a little stopgap, like I'll add some kind of conditional where if the player tries to kick off the alchemy and the flint is not going to take effect, we'll say, oops, the flint's conditions are not satisfied or something like that. So that'll work, hopefully. Context is met pre-alchemy. And ctx.drawerui.isInventory. Is drawer expanded? Is that what I want? Yeah. Okay, pre-reagent alchemy, I need to add just reagent alchemy. Oops. What did I just do? Reagent alchemy. Reagent alchemy. Enter state reagent alchemy. And then here. Okay. Let's see if that works. Got my first lead ingot. Very nice. Lead ingots are fun. I will probably be changing how those work. Not that they're going to change the fact that they create legendaries, but I'm going to be adding like some kind of condition to them or something. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I did the translations correctly. Okay. Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. Mel's, welcome back to you as well. Good to see you. Let's try using a reagent. Open your inventory. Use flint in alchemy to add a fire ability to an item. Read carefully, as reagents often have conditions that need to be satisfied. So that's still blocked. So this is the part where I'm going to want to add some kind of validation to this. Yeah. So there's one condition, which is that I put items that are not flint in there. And then there's the other condition where the flint is not actually taking effect. So how am I going to add that validation level? How am I going to add that validation? So I think it needs to go at the alchemy container level. Maybe I'll do some kind of... I mean, I probably need to do some kind of like add tutorial. Well, maybe I could just make that entirely local to this. I mean, that would be a little bit... No, maybe I shouldn't. Let's just do public void, add tutorial validator. Func bool validator. Clickable control.add clickable validator. So I have a couple of validators here. Invalid click. Oh, I'm going to need to enforce having enough blood as well. Okay, where is that dot cost? Enforce alchemy blood. Enforce alchemy blood. Okay. Do the same thing in here. Enforce alchemy blood. So I need to figure out how to add a validator. So basically what I would do in here is I would do something like context dot alchemy dot drawer UI dot alchemy get alchemy container. I mean, I could just do this dot get alchemy container. Add tutorial validator. Reagent alchemy validator. Oops. So let's go down here. Private void reagent alchemy validator. So var alchemy container is equal to this dot get alchemy container. Alchemy container dot board inventory component dot has get cards on board dot any x dot card definition resource dot id is equal to card id dot flint. So var has flint is equal to this. Alchemy container equals null will just return true. This needs to be a bool. Okay. So I'm going to do has flint, and then what I probably want to do is, now how do I validate that the flint is actually taking effect? So alchemy container dot get alchemy get alchemy manager. No, that's not what I want to do. Well, maybe. Actually, I have this in here. Let's see, alchemy container. Do I have the output data? Alchemy results, alchemy data. Here we go. Is there reagent affected cards in this alchemy data? Ability pool set, card tooltip data, ability pool. Get ability pool, alchemy data, tooltip data. I don't have. I'm not putting the reagent affected cards in here. I'm not putting the reagent affected cards in here. How do I know if the boss alchemy, boss souls applied, config.reagent effects. Oh, that's unfortunate. Config.get outputs, alchemy output result. Interesting. Alchemy data. So I need to get some data about this. Public required dictionary base card. Reagent to affected cards. And we'll do get init. What am I even doing? What am I even doing? So reagent to affected cards. So we'll just trace this back. We need to get the tooltip data. So get output data for cards. This is just doing get alchemy output data here. Okay, so get alchemy output data. Alchemy output data. We're just going to do the same thing here. Oh, this is doing it. Oh, this is doing per card. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, this is doing it per card. That's unfortunate. So I actually can't use that. I could do the reagent effects though. Actually, maybe I'll do that. So let me think about this. So I'm creating this tooltip data. Right, that's per card. Okay, wait, this should work. So I can do, can I do this in one line? Reagent to affected cards is equal to config.reagentEffects dot reagent to affected cards. Oh, look at that. I suppose this doesn't work, right? No. So let's just do to dictionary. We'll just create a new reference so we're not... Well, I'm gonna get... I mean, this is a short-lived config object anyway. This is not leaving this scope. So I actually probably don't need to do that, because if it's shared by reference, that's not gonna be a problem, because this reference doesn't exist anywhere else except in the scope of this function. So it should be fine just to share the reference there, actually. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, no, that's fine. So we're just going to pass along the data that we already have from this config object, and now we have that reagent to affected cards. So now, when we do this reagent alchemy validator, we are going to need a way of getting the current alchemy data. And I'm just going to be very careful about this, because I do need to expose that. So what we'll do is we'll do public alchemy data. Is that right? Alchemy manager, alchemy data. Get alchemy data for tutorial. Just make it super clear that I really shouldn't be using this anywhere else. Alchemy container dot get alchemy data for tutorial dot reagent to affected cards. Reagent to affected cards dot add or dot try get value. Actually, I'm gonna want to find. Ah, shoot. I guess I can just make an assumption here. Has flint, so let's just do flint. If flint is equal to null, return. Return false. Okay, try get value flint out var affected cards. Return affected cards dot length dot count is greater than 0. Let me just also check flint, alchemy added ability, record reagent to affected card. Okay. We'll just make this null safe as well. Reagent to affected cards is equal to null, return false. Okay. All right, so there's our validator for that. Do we have alchemy log? I just mixed some items with the reagent that should protect my items from alchemy, but my items lost crit. So the alchemy only changes the abilities. If you had some crit, it may have been a passive bonus from another item. So alchemy only changes abilities unless otherwise specified. Like if a reagent says it will add crit, then it will change. But the tier, the cooldown, the critical chance, none of those properties are changed by alchemy. It's just the abilities by default. Like I said, the only time where any of those other things would change is if you have a reagent to do that. So you probably had some kind of bonus from another item that was giving it crit. Hello, Clickertail, welcome. My bad, I thought I lost crit, but it was Voidstone. Oh, right, yeah. So I do agree that I need to make that clearer, because, like, it's hard to tell where all of your crit is coming from. But if I get the pin tooltip stuff done, that might be an opportunity to do a breakdown. So, like, when you hover over an item, like, maybe you pin the tooltip, and then there's, like, another tooltip that says, okay, here's where your crit is coming from. Like, here's your base crit. Crit is coming from Voidstone. Crit is coming from whatever. Okay, this cat is being annoying. Do you want to say hi to the stream? There you go, you said hi. Here's the other one. Do you want to say hi to the stream too? Ah. There's the other one. There's a third cat lurking around here somewhere, and of course there's the dog. Too many animals. Too many animals. What's here? So cute. About innate, does it get replaced upon alchemy, or does it add an ability? Innate does not get changed by alchemy in any way by default. You can, this is mentioned in the card inspector. If you right click to inspect something, you can read about the innate keyword and it tells you how it works. Again, that's something that needs to be shown to the player, which actually is part of this tutorial now, so hopefully that helps. So we've got the reagent alchemy validator. So I add the validator here, but then I need to remove the validator after the alchemy is completed. So this will be a nice reinforcement anyway. So alchemy, pool corruption, alchemy commit, post alchemy. Post alchemy, right. So let's do post reagent alchemy here. State ID.post reagent alchemy. Enter state post reagent alchemy. This needs to contain reagent alchemy. Okay, delay time. So let's add that state now. This is my life now, making tutorial states. I wonder if people are going to decompile this game and, like, judge my code. I wonder what they would say about this. I mean, I would say that this class is actually pretty easy to understand and work with. It's just very long. But it's very predictable. I mean, it's only long because there's just a bunch of states, but each state, like, this is the entire definition of a state, right? So it's pretty easy to follow along, I think. That's my personal bias anyway. Enter state post alchemy. I think if I were to really spend the time to make this code good, I think I would add a bunch of helper methods for defining the highlight areas, because I am repeating a lot of code And so maybe just having a more developer friendly way of like defining all of the behaviors in a very like framework oriented way would be nice. But that would be more difficult to implement than just copy pasting and changing a couple of things. Okay, board, description details, tutorial state post, reagent alchemy. Post reagent alchemy. Post reagent alchemy. Let's do keywords. Keyword reagent. Reagents are consumed when used in alchemy. One of your items has received the keyword fire ability from Flint. So in here, I need to remove that lock now, set tutorial locked true. So we're going to do this, context, and then we are going to do, we need to remove that validator. Actually, I should probably move this. No, the validator is fine there. So add tutorial validator. Okay, so now we need to do remove. So now the next thing that's going to be a little bit difficult. You know what I might do actually? I'm going to do this the easy way. Private bool show tutorial invalid is using tutorial validator. Okay. Is using tutorial validator is equal to true. Is using tutorial validator is equal to false. On invalid clicked. If is using tutorial validator. Oh, not enough blood. Oh, I have this in a bunch of places. UI error, not insufficient blood. Game constants.UI error, insufficient blood. So we'll just fix all those places. What was I doing? Cannot alchemize. Wait a minute. Validation error. Please tell me these are not translated. Are you serious? All right, I'm gonna do that later though. Translate alchemy error messages in validation invalid clicked. That's actually an important one. All right, we won't worry about that just yet. Translation string. This not correct. Ensure flint is in alchemy is affecting at least one item. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe I don't even need to say that. Tutorial. I'll put this in the tutorial group, I guess. Okay. Well, nothing to do now except test it. So it cannot be replaced, so if something gives an innate ability, it is placed in one of the ability slots. No, innate abilities don't do anything in alchemy. They don't get added, they don't get removed, they don't get replaced, they don't get added to the pool. They don't do anything by default. Doing a code review of Alchemortis would probably say it looks very readable. My code could use work on the other hand. I just poison board for crit and threw my run. Uh-oh. 3 hours messing around with your game, I couldn't go back to work. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're enjoying it though. Hopefully this improved tutorial answers a lot of the questions and rough patches that people are having. I think it is really important to get people to understand the game early because I think the game really opens up once you understand, or generally understand, how everything's working. So we'll see, but let's see if this whole thing works. Let us try using a reagent. Open your inventory. Use flint and alchemy to add a fire ability to an item. Read carefully, as reagents often have conditions that need to be satisfied. Okay, so if I try to do this, ensure flint is in the pot and isn't affecting at least one item. Very cool. So that seems to work, and then I should continue on. The other thing I should test is that I'm not able to move on until I finish that. But now we've got the validator, so we're going to prevent people from being able to do an incorrect alchemy at that stage. So we'll grab this. So if I close this, complete the alchemy tutorial before continuing on, that message is fine. So put this here, ensure flint is in the pot and is affecting at least one item. So let's see what happens if I use 2 items. So I don't know if I was streaming when I did this, but I did remove the corruption chance from the tutorial. So I do mention corruption in the tutorial, but I think the alchemy would have become too unpredictable for the tutorial if I had allowed it. So yeah, it still says what the corruption chance is. It's just forced to never proc. So now players will be able to see, why are they dying immediately? Anyway, hello Ninja Link. We got the reagent tutorial in place. There's now a reagent in the map. Look at all these commits. Look at how many commits I am ahead of Master here. This is just the tutorial. Oh, goodness. I'm going to add one more to it. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is prevent player from selling items. Until at a certain point. Add tagline from map events explaining what they do. Ensure player can't sell all their cards. So I'm actually going to delete that because I've written that down here now. I think it'd be nice to have a tooltip that always tells you what you need to do, kind of like use flint to do alchemy, etc. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. The problem is I just don't have any room on the screen for these things because it's going to be blocking something important. Maybe not, though. Maybe I could just put it in the top right. I mean, it would no, it would block like the input prompts. I could put it like up here, maybe. Yeah, maybe I could do that. So I could set up like a current goal. Yeah, maybe we should look into doing that. Fudge. This is the never-ending task. Add persistent tooltip prompt explaining what the next goal is. Okay. I feel like I'm making a whole game just with this tutorial. Hello, Andrew Gonzalez. Welcome back. Good to see you. So people don't get lost. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Anyone know if C# Web Export will be supported in Godot 4.8? I don't think so. Could you just have an announcement that doesn't go away? I think the problem with that is that if I do actually need to display an error, it will overwrite the persistent announcement, and then I need to detect when that ends and like show the one that's supposed to be persistent. So I could have the player like actually encountering errors that either wouldn't get shown or would obscure the persistent goal. So yeah, I think maybe just like a tooltip is fine. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. When I come back, the next thing we're going to do is figure out how to prevent the player from selling things. So I'll do that, but I will BRB and we will continue on. Hello, I'm back. This is a music track I'm not familiar with. That caused me to have to put on my headphones to see if it's anything bad. Funnily enough, this is the music I use is like a 12-hour long video of royalty-free streamer music, and I just left it running from the first stream, so we're like 5 hours into the video, not even halfway done with it. It's kind of funny. All right. Oh. Add placement lock to cell board. Let me just see what this does to start. Enter state introduction. Context dot player inventory. Well, we're already off on the wrong foot. Drawer UI dot player inventory dot cell board. Add drag locks. So this I probably need to do. Oh wait, add board placement lock to context.drawerui.playerinventory.cellboard. Let me see what that does. And I'm going to remove debug, mark states complete. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I can still sell things. Interesting. Hard mouse events manager, quick sell. On quick sell requested. Try immediately transfer card. Owner board. Interesting. So get quick move target from board. So we are checking is board placement locked here. Okay, interesting. So the problem here is this try immediately transfer card. If board manager dot is board placement locked owner board. Yeah, I was just not checking if board placement is locked against the cell board. Return false. Base card dot card node dot play fail. Okay, so I was just not checking for board placement lock. So the idea was good. So now there should be no way. So that quick cell, the way that the quick cell works. Oops, I had the dancing skeleton or the dancing lizards, dinosaurs, whatever they are, up too long. So the quick cell, the way that it works is a little bit tricksy. Instead of creating another path through which things could be sold, what happens when you quick sell something is it actually transfers it to the cell inventory. Now, what that usually does is transferring an item usually snaps the item, like it animates the item over to the board. So what I did in the quick sell is I transfer the item to the board and then I immediately reset its position back to where it was. So when I quick sell the skeleton warrior, it's technically in the cell board inventory while it's fading away. And I just realized now that I can still quick sell son of a biscuit. But yeah, that's how it works under the hood. So that's why I'm trying to like change the board placement lock, because as long as this board is locked, it should be impossible to sell something, but apparently that's not working. Oh, I'm checking the wrong thing. Why is this try immediately transfer card in here? Do I have cell board in here? Register. I have the cell board in here. I wonder if I should change this. This would make more sense. Try immediately transfer card. Or I could just pass in the board here. To inventory is equal to to board dot board inventory component. That's probably fine. So then we're just going to pass cell board there. Same difference, just passing in more data. All right, let's try that now. So now I shouldn't be able to quick sell anything. So what I should see is, yep, so I'm holding the quick sell hotkey and it's not doing anything. And I also can't drop anything on the board. Now, probably should have some feedback on that. Let me add that to the backlog. Add feedback for dragging items over placement locked boards. So I do want to show some kind of error. The question is, how am I going to do that? Well, I was thinking I would show an error when you try to drop things onto the board, but the problem is the board is null. So this does not return. This returns null. Okay, so where's the mouse over board? Board placement state, mouse over board. Oh, right. Is this update mouse drag state called every frame? It is. Update mouse drag state, get mouse over board, mouse grid position, update mouse over board, board placement state, restore initial state. I think this is wrong. I'm creating a new board placement state every time. I mean, it works, but oh wait, no. This step, if mouse over board is equal, so if it's the same, it's not doing anything. Okay, good. I thought I was creating a new instance every frame. That is not the case. Okay, never mind. So what I could do, I could add an additional piece of data. So without changing this, what I could potentially do is restore, like, what is the board that it's over? but what is the valid board that it's over? So I could get, like, in principle, like, you know, here is the board. Well, or I could do maybe when it fails. So if I do like a try drop card, maybe. Let me think about this. Try drop card. Mouse over. Oh, it's not going to do it though, because the mouse over board is null. Oh, wait, that's fine though. If drag data, if at board. At board to board. Wait a minute. How is this even working? Mouse over board is equal to null. Oh, here we go. Mouse over board is equal to null. So what I could do is I could do something like board manager. I could do get mouse over board, or I could, let's do this. Let's do bool ignore placement locks equals false. Not is board placement locked, or ignore placement locks, and board is a mouse over board. So what I could do now is in here, if mouse over board is equal to null, we're gonna do this. Let's do a var failed board is equal to this dot get board manager dot get mouse over board ignore placement locks true. And then I could do a signal up here. Public delegate void drop failed for board event handler. Or I guess I'll just call it board. And then down here, what I can do, if failed board is not equal to null, we could do emit signal. I might do it after the drag is over though. I might do it at the end, yeah. If mouse over board equals null, emit signal drop failed for board, failed board. So now I can at least get some data about whether the drop failed because the board placement was locked. And I might need that in the future anyway. So anyway, what I can do now, grab the alchemy container here. Alchemy container. Card mouse events manager. Card mouse events manager. Connect to drop failed for board. On drop failed for board. Private void on drop failed for board. Board. If board is not equal to get context player.drawerui.playerinventory.cellboard. Otherwise, announcements.create announcement. Tutorial cell error. And now we can create that up here. Selling items is not yet available. Tutorial, this would be tutorial cell error. Okay, there is one other thing. Emit signal drop failed for board to board. Okay. Maybe I should call this transfer failed. I'm going to rename this transfer. So many things. All right. Hello, Sam can't code. I believe in you. I believe you can code. Assuming you're referring to yourself. But welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Okay, that works. I mean, it's not translated because I didn't build the translations. Cool. All right, that works. So now we can create an actual cell part. So I don't need to worry about this at all anymore. That's the simple solution, is we just block it. Now the challenge is, what happens if I take all the largest possible items? So if I grab the most items possible, grab these, and I go into the combat, take that, go here, oops, complete the alchemy tutorial, add at least 2 items to the pot. That works. Yeah, it does work. Continue on, remove your items from the pot. Click here to close your inventory. Boom. Alchemical reagents. I think all the items in the tutorial are small enough that I can fit all of them until I'm ready to do the sell step. Let's try using a reagent. Open your inventory. Use flint and alchemy to add a fire ability to an item. Read carefully, as reagents often have conditions that need to be satisfied. Ensure flint is in the pot and is affecting at least 1 item. Okay. Okay. That's actually incorrect. One or more of your items. Do you use have or has after 1 or more? Have. That's what the Google AI says. So, and we all know that blindly trusting the first AI result is not, there's no possible way that could go wrong. Has, minor thing that might not be possible with your palette shader, but having the screen go fully opaque black feels like I lost the context of where the buttons are on the screen. I can play around with that. So the reason why the screen is going entirely black is because when I have the text up, sometimes the text could end up on a spot where like there is there's stuff behind it that makes it hard to read. I mean, I could maybe just force a black background behind the text though to make that not so much of an issue, but then that might look weird to see like a big black patch surrounded by like slightly dimmed. But I can look at that. I'm a fraud. Hello, Ox as welcome. Okay, All right, so we're very, very close indeed. So it looks like the selling is going to work, and I don't run out of room in my inventory, which is good. Well, let's do this combat. Okay. Now the question is, do I stop the player again? Or do I like introduce the sell? What do I do? You know what else sucks about the translation is that these are textures, this sell and this stash. And so those obviously can't be translated. The problem is I want those to be textures. Like, I think it would look really bad if these were just like rendered text. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I don't know. I have to figure that out. I mean, one option is just to keep it as rendered text for the English version and then hide that and show like just, or sorry, keep it as a texture for English so it looks nice, but then for other languages just use regular text. But then it's just gonna look bad. The other option is I could I mean, it would be kind of a lot of work, but if I support, I don't know, a dozen or 20 languages or whatever, I could just do individual texturing for all the words for that language and swap them out. That would be quite a lot of work, but that would be the way to get it to work like really nicely. Oh man, these dang languages, they're compromising the artistic integrity of the game. I'm kidding. I'll figure it out. Even if it's just super slight transparency just to know where the button is relative to everything else. Yeah, I mean, transparency is a hard rule. I can't use transparency. So yeah, that is just a rule for this game. It's just a voluntary rule, but it is a rule nonetheless. So transparency is not possible. The only thing I can really do is dim things. But maybe I can figure something out. Hello, Knit. Asmongold if he had brown hair. Interesting. Interesting. You can translate images, but you would need to draw one texture for each. Right. How do you manage to learn multiple things on game dev? I learn art and it takes a long time, so how do you manage to learn art and code? The answer, and you're probably not going to like it, is that it just takes a long time. There's nothing like game dev. The thing about game dev is that it requires you to be competent in so many disciplines, and each of those disciplines are like hard to learn by themselves, right? So if you want to make your own art, you got to learn how to do art. There's no way around that. There's no skipping past that, right? You got to learn how to do it. If you don't know how to program, you got to learn how to program. If you don't know how to use an engine, you got to learn how to use an engine, right? If you don't know how to reach out to influencers and create a good trailer, you got to learn how to do that, right? You got to learn how to do the marketing. You have to learn the game design. Game design is an entirely different skill, right? So you got to learn how to actually craft a compelling experience for players and to create the feelings that you want them to have in your game. You have to be a project manager. You have to know how to manage your scope and how to cut features and when to spend time doing something and when not to spend time doing something. And then, of course, you got to be the producer, or the publisher if you're like self-published, right? Got to manage your game's entry into all of the events that you want to participate in. You got to stay on top of the Steam sales. You got to do the Next Fest. So the thing is, it just takes a long time. And I've been doing this in a hobby form since I was 14 years old, and I'm 32 now. So I've been learning programming since I was 14. And I'm constantly learning. Like, I'm still learning new stuff about programming. It's a never-ending journey, I guess you could say. And then the past like 3 or 4 years, I've been really trying to learn pixel art. But I think the thing is, unless you're like a prodigy, or unless you're like this super like intelligent, quick learner, I think you just have to be prepared to spend a long time learning the skills. And that's the unfortunate reality. I think that's just how it has to be. So where do I want to introduce the cell? Well, first let's do this. Block selling. Okay. What are we going to do for this selling? Where do I want to put it? So wait, this was a reagent, right? Oh, that's fun. So maybe... I guess I could do it after this combat. What do I want to do? I don't know. I'm just kind of like trying to... I guess we'll just do it after the combat. What I may do to streamline the experience a little bit more is I've been prompting the player to open their inventory and close their inventory. What I may do for the sell step... So let's just say that the sell happens after this combat, right? So we beat those guys. This would typically be where the morale gets highlighted. But I could pop open the inventory for the player and highlight the sell board and say, hey, if you want to get rid of some items, if you want to dispose of some items, you can convert them to blood or whatever. You can sell them here. And then just leave the drawer in this state so the player can close and like go back. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just trigger that myself. So the player, so I don't have to add another state calling out the open inventory, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, we can try the dimming. I mean, do we want to give it a try now? Let's try it. Dim level. Tutorial highlight. Dim level. Shader highlight dim level 8. What if I just turn this up? See what happens. It's all driven by a shader, so I could just change the dim level. I just have it maxed out. But we could try it. That might be too high of a dim level, but let's just go through and see. So I don't know if you could tell, but there's very, very slight transparency stuff. Or very, what looks transparent anyway. So if we stepped it down an additional one though, maybe that would be okay. See, like this is the case, like you can see the player behind this. This is not too bad because it's like, you can read that still very easily. But I think if I stepped up the dimming another level, like it's very faint. That might actually be okay. I might turn down the highlight level too. I think it's being a little bit too bright. Let's just try both directions. Let's turn this down by 1 and turn this down by 1 as well. It's very easy to play with, so it doesn't really cost me anything to experiment and see what it looks like. That might be okay. Oh, the highlight level. Oh, it's not actually stepping it up. Oh. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I just don't do that. Let's see. Does that look better? Do I even need to brighten the things that are inside the circle? Even that is a lot better, I think. Okay. So you're talking about the first option that I did, but this is the second option, which is a little bit more transparent, quote unquote. Very newbie question, but what is the reasoning behind using C# over GDScript or C++? Is there something about it that makes it better, or is it just preference-based? I mean, the direct answer is it's just preference-based. The fun answer is I'm scared of C++, and also no, C# is just my preference. I have a bunch of tooling built up for C# already, so I'm very comfortable with it. I have a bunch of like custom extension methods and other classes that I've written that help me with my games. I'm used to writing in C#. It gives me a lot of structure, which I like. GDScript is fine though. Like I think if you want to create a game in GDScript, you can definitely go for it. I don't think you can really go wrong with it. I just think personally, like building a game like Alchemortis in GDScript, I think would have been very difficult because I see a lot of the tools that C# offers me have made doing this game a lot easier than it otherwise would be. The second is best. That looks better. Makes perfect sense. Wow. Thanks for the response. You're welcome. I'd say second is best, but even the first one is better than fully opaque. Maybe second plus background on the text if it is a problem. Yeah, we could do that. Because like, if I just put a solid background behind this, it wouldn't actually be that noticeable. Like, you might be able to tell that there's a box behind there, but maybe not. Yeah, that looks better, actually. I like that. Let me just go through the tutorial and see if there's any cases where the text is hard to read. No, even that's fine. See, I was worried about the player being back there, but that's okay. Where you going, Mr. Bones? So this starts to get to the point where maybe it's a little bit harder to read. What I could potentially do though, is I could maybe increase the shadows around the text. That actually doesn't look terrible. So if I do really thick shadows around the text, that provides better separation. What happens if I make it like super thick? Yeah, maybe just do that, right? Oh, they're encroaching into the other lines, though. That's the problem. So I probably want to keep it at around 12, actually. Yeah, I think that's the best of both worlds. Yeah, that'll work. We've got cinematic Alchemortis. Okay. This is looking pretty good, actually. Cool. Hopefully this is a lot better experience for players getting into the game for the first time. Hover over an artifact. I'm going to reword that a little bit. Starting to feel like a real game now. Sweet. All right. I do think those changes look good. I will keep those changes. What about having an outline in the highlight area? Fully black is much more focused, easier to learn. 7 only now. Wait, it clicked. You're the same Fireblade that did the Survivor's Light course, right? I did, yes. Did you take that course? Oh, you did. Okay. Really enjoyed peak Godotting. Awesome. Yes, that's me. I am Firebelly of Udemy course fame. Your favorite niche e-celeb. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I'm very, very happy to hear that. Anyway. An outline for the highlight area. I wonder what that would look like, and I wonder how I would do that. Outline for the highlighted area. How would I do that? I think what I would have to do is draw a second circle that's slightly larger behind the other one. Draw it with a color like green or something. And then in the shader, replace all green pixels with a color from my palette. We could try that. I mean, we might as well. We're going on some side quests now. Okay. So let's just see how it works. So firstly, this color rect here. On draw, var outline radius is equal to radius plus 2. And then we'll do color rect dot draw circle target dot screen center position outline radius colors dot green. Okay, and then in the shader, let's see. Stepped up color. Stepped down color is equal to mix color purple outline value. So is that correct logic? So I'm basically reading the green channel and I'm saying, okay, here's my step down color. So I'm stepping that down in the palette. That's the dimming. But then what I'm going to say is I'm going to say the step down color is going to be actually one of these. So if the outline value is 1, we're going to choose color purple. So the outline value is going to be the green channel. So if the green channel is 1, we're going to use the color purple. Otherwise, we're going to use the step down color. I think that will work. Let's see. Sounds right to me. Yeah, it looks right. We'll see. Ooh. Maybe I won't make it so thick. Oh, also the outline doesn't fade out. Oh, that's a problem. Could maybe just use like a dark purple outline. That does look okay though. What if I use a dark purple? Dark purple. That was fast, +1 for the outline. Maybe just like the fog of war. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard to add like an animated thing around it. But the outline is better, I think. Yeah, it does give it a nice little boundary, I think. The problem is it just kind of like disappears, which is unfortunate. What would I do to make that not the case? Oh, you meant the color. Yeah, I think that works for sure. I just need to figure out what to do when I'm like fading it out. Maybe I could just make the outline go away early. Or maybe I need to animate out the highlight area generally. Maybe not. You also step down the outline color in the shader based on dim. Yeah, the problem is the only next color it can go to is black, which may actually exacerbate the problem. What I could do is just stop rendering the outline when I click continue. It would still kind of like fade out, but if I was really fancy, I could add like a dissolve shader to it. That would be a lot of work though. What happens if I just... Clear draw targets. Public bool skip. Skip outline. So when I do play out, if target, if not target dot skip outline, I'll put the not there in a second. So what happens if we just make the outline go away as soon as we are fading out? That might be the thing to do. I mean, I think that looks better because it doesn't hang around for as long. I mean, I guess I could step it down. Highlight level, dim level. I don't know. Looks much cleaner to me. I like it. Maybe expand the circle to full screen when it goes away. That is an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea. Set parallel. Tween dot tween method. Radius override. For each var target in draw targets, target.radius override is equal to mathf.lerp target.radius to $320. No, I'm probably gonna have to do like 500 or something. We're gonna lerp it by t. We're gonna go from 0f to 1f. Oh, did I set this wrong? Set dot. What am I missing? Action TT. Oh, I need the time. Let's see what happens. So basically I'm lerping from the current radius to 500. T is going from 0 to 1. Oh, did I do this wrong? I'd set it to required. Oops. Didn't want to do that. So I'll set the radius override in the animation. Well, it's happening at the same time as the dim, so that's a little bit weird. I mean, that looks okay. I guess I want to keep the outline as well. Maybe that would help. Let's just get rid of this. I'll delete that code if I don't want it. Later today, I will check out the updated playtest. Oh, I'm sorry, the playtest is... I mean, I guess... You could still play the playtest if it's in your library, so yeah, I guess you have a couple of days to play it still. Maybe we make this a little bit slower. Yes, it's in my library. Gotcha. There haven't been any playtest updates though, so that's the other thing. Is like the playtest has been feature frozen for a while, so it'll be the same game, but I don't know if I like that. I mean, maybe the radius needs to go higher. Let's maybe not give it... Well, we can do like a sign instead. Just make it 640. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like the expanding circle or nah? Nah, actually, yes, nay. Yeah, I don't like it either. So how do I undo this without breaking everything? We want to put this back. Get rid of the radius override. Okay, well, I think those improvements are pretty decent. Maybe I'll figure out how to more nicely animate that as well. Oh, wait. Oh, I eliminated the part where I was iterating over them. Looks a little off since it's diff speed for each size of the circle. Yeah. But, you know, I have to... The circle has to be a large enough radius such that whatever size it grows to, it will cover the screen. I think that's fine, though. I mean, it's a little janky, but that's all right. I could maybe actually increase the speed as well. Maybe make everything look a little bit smoother by increasing the speed. Super fast for the small ones, yeah. I need to prevent that from clearing as well. That is looking better though. I like the outline. This needs to be centered. Actually, I'm gonna try a wild card thing. Light green outline, let's go. Is that too much? Does draw more attention to it. Could also just make it white. That pulls my eye way more. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's try white. Let's see what white looks like. Actually, I think I like the green better, but what do you guys think? The white feels almost too strong. It is very eye-grabbing, though, but maybe the green is actually better. Could look good with a shader. My vote is green. Prefer the green. I think I prefer the green as well. How would I add a shader to that? I would need to do some kind of noise sampling that only affects green. What does this look like in high resolution mode? Oh, it's still pixelated because the viewport resolution is 640 by 360. That's all right. Doesn't need to be perfect. So if I added a noise shader that only affected the outline, maybe that would work. Let's try that. I like going on the side quests. It's kind of fun. A little bit of a fun break. Okay. Tutorial highlight clarity changes. Green. Caught my eye with green. Okay, we'll do green then. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to try adding a little bit of animation to that outline and see how it looks. That should be relatively easy. I think what I'm going to do is just get a noise texture, sample the noise texture, but only have the noise texture affect the green pixels, which should be relatively straightforward, I think. But we'll see. Anyway, I'll BRB in just 3 minutes, and we will continue on. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Alrighty then. Let's see what we can do. Uniform sampler 2D. Noise texture. Well, let's be more specific. Outline, noise, texture. Let's do repeat enable. Enable. Okay. let's get the noise texture defined. Noise texture 2D. 640 by 360. New fast noise light. Perlin. None. Turn up the frequency. Make a random seed, I guess. Seamless. Okay. Float outline noise sample is equal to texture outline noise texture. And then we're going to do UV plus vec2 time times 0.001 time times negative 0.002 and then dot R Did we do another mix? Mix. Step. Built-in functions. I need to look at the shader functions again. Step. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it chooses the argument index of whatever is greater. Yeah. So wait a minute, what am I doing? Um, 0.5. Okay, let's do final color. Let's call it final down color. Final down color. Final down color is equal to mix. We want to do the final down color, stepped down color, step. I have no idea if that's going to work. Let's see. So the goal is to just use the step down color if the noise is not valid. Oh, interesting. That seems to work. I think the time is just a little bit too slow. We'll increase it by 10x in both directions. Also, I need to probably increase the frequency. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Let's turn up the frequency. Maybe we'll also add a const float Oops. Const float noise frequency is equal to 1, 1.5. And then I believe I just do UV. Is it UV times noise frequency? Is that right? What happens if I... Oh, I can preview it. What happens if I get rid of this noise frequency? Ah, I don't have enough room. Preview must be in fragment function. Well, that's not fun. I think that is working though. Let's just increase this again. 0.03, 0.04. What happens if I turn the frequency up again? 3.0. Your favorite niche viewer is back. You're a genius. Thank you. Bailey, you look like Peaky Blinders' main lead guy. Have you tried modeling? Hello, Direct EQN. I have not, but thank you for the compliment. I'm glad I look like Mr. Peaky. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the stream, by the way. All my OGs are turning to the purple side. I feel like this needs to be reversed. How do we feel about this, though? Does that make it a little bit more interesting? Do we like that or no? Let's turn the frequency up some more. Maybe we turn the frequency down. The goal is to make the outline wave instead of move between colors, but I like this too. Waving the outline would be a little bit difficult, I think. We might need like another noise sample. Let's take this and let's do 0.07 here, 0.1 there, and we do float final noise sample is equal to outline noise sample secondary divided by 2, so we just average the two samples out, and then we look for final noise sample. So we should just get some more interesting motion here. We can turn the frequency up. Turn the frequency down. What happens if I change this. I went the wrong way, apparently. Actually, mask good. I think it looks cool. It's a step in the right direction, but I was thinking wavy effect as well. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know how to do that because it's just a 1 pixel wide green. And in order to get the wave to move in the right direction, I would need to pass in a position of the center of the circle as a uniform. And then I would need to somehow like I probably would need to draw the circle thicker. Use the... Yeah, I would almost need to like draw the circle, the outline thicker, get some kind of direction from the center to whatever point I'm considering. I would need to fade it from the far edge of the circle outline to the inner edge of the circle outline and then give it some kind of like, yeah, outline. I don't know. Yeah, it would be hard. I may turn the frequency just down a little bit. Maybe have white be in the gaps of the outline. Other than that, looks good. Looks a bit too much. Maybe use 2 outline colors instead of green and nothing. We could try that. Is outline is equal to step vec for outline color is equal to mix color light green, color blue is outline value. No, I think I would do this step here. Mix outline color is outline. Did I do it wrong? I think I did it wrong. There we go. Does that look better? So it looks like a little sparkly now instead of broken up. I like the separation of having the solid line. Hello, Mr. Elliptic. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, DB9 Dreamer. Something nice. Hello, I Heart Funny Boys. Something nice. Is this a meme? Hello, Coda DeVita. Russ Riguez, welcome. That looks good. That looks better. I think I'm going to change. I'm just working. So for those of you that come in, I'm working on my game Alchemortis. It's an inventory management auto battler where you can use alchemy to make your own builds, wrapped in a dark fantasy necromancy alchemy theme. And right now I am writing a shader. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, you can check out the Steam page. It's linked below. The game is coming out in a few short months before the end of the year is the goal. So yeah, if you're interested, I would appreciate you checking it out. And if you're not interested, then you can leave the stream right now. I'm just kidding. If you're not interested, you can hang around to see some Godot development, because we all love Godot here, right? Okay. I'm just going to mess with some time constants here. Actually, that looks cool. I think I liked it with the smaller bright spots, though. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks subtle enough. We've got some sparkling on the outline. Makes it look a little bit more visually interesting. I might even turn the speed down even more. Let's do that, and then we'll do 0.03, 0.04. It did the raid anyway, but I'm still alive. Interesting. We're ready to just say something nice. Need to go eat something. Bye. Thank you again, Mr. Elliptic. Another raid. Wow, double raid. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so that looks good. What do you guys think? So, solid outline, but with some sparkly, lighter parts on it. Make it look a little bit nicer. The other thing we could do is, instead of using those two colors, we could do color white and color light green. I don't need this line anymore. No, I feel like that's too bright. I don't like that, sorry. Hello, Path of Pizza. Welcome. I think I like this. I think this looks good. Thank you for the Prime subscription, Path of Pizza. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. It's very appreciated. So, for context, we're working on the tutorial right now. So this is the tutorial level for my game. It's been a multi-day effort just redoing the tutorial. But it's looking good now. That circular outline animation is a sprite animation or a shader. It is a shader, so the way that I'm doing it is I am essentially rendering just a black color rectangle in a sub viewport, but then at this level, I'm hooking into the draw method of that color rectangle, and then I am drawing a bunch of white circles wherever I want my highlight spots to be. So the highlight spots are configured by the tutorial. So you can see like tutorial, highlight, add, draw, target, what's my screen center position, what's my radius. So that information is read in here when it does the draw method. And I'm drawing a bigger circle first, that is the radius. So it's just, or that's the radius plus 1. So there's a bigger circle that's drawn with just green at radius plus 1. So I get a 1 outline, and then I draw a white circle on top of that. And then in the shader, because my colors are either black, white, or green, that becomes very easy to just read, like sample that viewport texture and then do things based on the sampled values, right? So I know that the outline is whatever colors or whatever pixels are purely green, so 1.0 in the green channel, right? For anything that's just pure black, so zeroed out across RGBA, or I guess it would just be zeroed out RGB because the alpha is still 1. I basically say, okay, well, I want to take the screen texture then, so whatever's already on the screen, and I just want to step down the colors in the palette, so that's how I get the dimming effect. And then anything that's white is just going to basically resolve to the same color as the screen texture. So anything that ultimately ends up being covered by the white circle keeps rendering the way that it should be rendering. Anything that's part of the green outline will get a special outline color, which is like this chunk of code right here. And then anything that's black from the viewport texture will take the screen texture sample and step it down in the color palette by a couple of steps. So in this game, I'm not allowed to use transparency. That's part of like the visual style. So you'll notice that you can see some like semi-transparent things over here. That's not actually transparency. It's actually it's actually changing the color to a different color in the palette so that every color that gets rendered to the screen ends up being one of the 8 colors in the palette. So that's kind of the rule for this game. Every single pixel needs to be one of the 8 colors in the palette. So there's no transparency, there's no mixing colors, there's no blending, which can be challenging, but can also get really nice effects from it. Excellent. I think that looks good. Circular outline. Oh, the cross item thing. No, oh, I see. Yeah, I mean that's basically just an outline shader where you take like an angle. So I'm assuming you're meaning like this. Yeah, that highlight animation around it. You take an outline shader, but then you basically define an angle from the center of the texture, and then you just rotate that angle around. And then any parts of the outline that fall outside of that cone essentially just get rendered to transparent. So with a shader uniform, you can just drive the rotation with like a progress value or something. Then you can also configure, you know, what is the arc of the outline that should be considered. And then you just rotate that around, and that's basically that. Yeah, I don't want to draw it for sure. Yeah, that would be a nightmare because I already have this outline shader which applies to things that I hover, right? So it's just a solid white outline. So the outline radial is basically just a variant of that with the ability to animate the segment of the outline that gets rendered. Okay, so one thing I want to try though is if I go to high resolution mode, I want to see if that still works. It does still work. Excellent. Let's turn that off. Goodness gracious. Okay, so back to the tutorial stuff. That was a nice side quest, but back to the tutorial state stuff. So I need to add a state that tells the player how to sell items. So what I was going to do is pop open the inventory for them, for the player, and then just highlight the sell board and say, hey, you can drag items here to sell them. I think that's probably okay. Why is this a string name? Oh, I don't know why I made that a string name. Actually, why am I doing that? Oh, I suppose that makes sense. Does it make sense? Might change that. Yeah, I don't want that. Let's get rid of this. Can I delete that? Delete. I have a better way of doing this. Public. Let's do transform 2D, receptacle, screen transform. Public. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Get rid of that. I have a better way of doing this. Var resurrection container is equal to get context context.gameui.try get event node resurrection container. This would be resurrection container dot receptacle screen transform, resurrection container dot receptacle size. Okay, that's better. Then I don't need to have groups flying around. Let's see if that works. Better, better, yes indeed. Did you finish the tutorial? No. It's very close to being done. That's done. It's very close. But anyway, give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna go make some tea. I need something to drink. I need something interesting to drink. When I come back, we'll do the cell state. So I'll be right back.
have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
All right, thank you for your patience. I have my tea now. It's right here, but it's too hot to drink. I'm starting to like the new shader circle with those two colors of green and blue. Pops out more. Yeah, I think so. All right, I'm gonna take a little break for a second. Just take a little break for a second. Oh, let me test the death condition to make sure that still works, since I reworked that. Okay. Okay, it does work. Good. Is the tea interesting though? That was the requirement. Well, it's black tea. Unsweetened black tea. So I guess maybe that's not that interesting, but I'm gonna burn myself if I drink this. Oh man. Let's just take a chill break for a second here. Take a chill break for a second. How are you guys doing? Trying to think, what can I do as just like a little break here? We could draw something maybe. The annoying part is like I'm on a different branch, so. A burning. I mean, maybe I'll just go in and, well, I don't want to work on the. I don't want to work on the horse. I have an undead horse that's in like development now, but it has a special interaction. I don't want to reveal it to anyone. I don't want to reveal it to anyone. Did you finish the birdlings? I did. I did indeed. Yeah, they are corrupted birdlings. So they will add a corrupted ability to themselves when they're used in alchemy. And then critical chance per corrupted ability. Do Voidstone excuse me, do Voidstone run? I am going to probably nerf Voidstone, because I did a Voidstone run a couple streams ago and just stomped everything. Excuse me. I mean, I can't really do anything while this tutorial, because I'd have to switch branches and that would be a whole thing. Maybe we'll just goof around and play a run real quick while the tutorial is in progress, because I could do that on this branch. So we'll just turn this stuff off. I won't turn the sound effects on. We'll just, let me clear the save file. Actually, let's try something interesting. Let's do a run with skeleton. Let's do a run with brittle bones. I don't know if I'm gonna play this whole run, but just want to take a break from programming a little bit. We can see what the run looks like here. Excuse me. Okay, what do I got? Apply 4 armor. So no damage can penetrate armor. All armor abilities. Okay. Good. Weapon, undead, and alchemy. Kind of curious, what is the alchemy item here? Let's see what it does. Oh, of course it's the in development horse that I can't use yet. I guess we'll store these things. I kind of want to do a grand jewel build. That sounds fun. Apply 5 fire for every 5 damage dealt since previous execution. Or 1 fire. Applies 30% blind to enemy items on the left edge for 1 execution. This ability executed at least 4 times in 12 seconds. Deals 75 damage and exhausts this item. Oh, but it's... Oh, it's getting increased cooldown. Well, that might actually be a hard item to use on this, because I would need to get rid of damage. All items that deal damage apply 3 armor, but then this increases armor items by 2 seconds. So maybe I can't actually use that one. Anyway, let's do obelisk. Shop. Do I dare take the shop and risk the artifact going away? Let's see. Ooh, nice. $29 armor. Did I nerf armor yet? I don't think so. Why is this one applying armor? Oh, it reduces over time. Interesting, okay. And my rusty spoon got exhausted. So that means that this is the only thing dealing damage. Okay, anyway. Another scarab. Reduce the remaining cooldown of relic and ritual items. Well, that's a relic item. That's a weapon. That's a ritual. Oh, okay. So maybe I do this and place that there. That's gonna help. That's gonna help. Let's see, artifact. Do I dare take this again? I might as well. Just double execute the armor abilities. Shop prices are greatly discounted. Excellent. So, another rusty spoon. Oops. Don't look at that item. Let's grab that. Let's do this. Upgrade this scarab. Don't you use work trees or stash? Yeah, I do, but that doesn't change how annoying it is to switch. You know what I mean? Because I gotta switch the branch. Then when I commit things to the branch, then I have to rebase my feature branch. It's just annoying. How long have you been developing this game? Hello, Howlatowl. Since March of 2025. Okay, this one, I do not have the DPS output, but I do have armor, so that's good. I don't know what I'm going to do about armor. I think armor is a little bit too strong. Because I think if you stack armor, especially as brittle bones, you basically can't die. I mean, I do have 1 health, so if I ever don't stack enough armor, that's going to be a problem. I wonder if I should just do an armor pass on the game and just reduce the armor values across the board. And then maybe make it not last as long as well. I wonder if I should make armor more like it offers a lot of protection, but it doesn't last that long. So you can have like gaps where you don't have armor, and the build becomes about like, if you're going to do an armor build, you need to like think about having items that fill those potential armor gaps. You know what I mean? So like if armor only lasts like 4 or 6 seconds, and you've got like a 7-second cooldown item that applies a bunch of armor, you will apply that armor, but then there will be like a 3-second gap where you will be vulnerable to damage, and so you have to focus on like filling that. I wonder if that would be a more appropriate thing to do. Corrupted birdlings. Increases the critical chance of items on the top edge by 5%. I actually haven't done any alchemy yet. Let's see. Well, it doesn't help that none of these things have ability slots. Let's do this one. We might as well try to get, I mean, we are going to get the damage onto that. Let's throw the corrupted birdlings in there as well. And let's just go ahead and throw in the grand jewel as well. Here we go. It looks incredibly atmospheric. Did you draw all this yourself? Is it pixel art? Are the animations frame by frame, even the interface? So, thank you, first of all. I appreciate that. Yes, all of this art that you see on the screen was drawn by me by hand. Every single pixel hand placed in a sprite. Well, it's not technically true to say that every single pixel is hand placed, because sometimes I use bigger brush sizes, and sometimes I use the symmetry tools, so I get like multiple pixel placements with 1 click. But I think you understand the point, right? It's all made by hand in Sprite, and there are no frame-by-frame animations in the game, believe it or not. So there are 3 main rules that I have. Is it 3 rules? I don't know. I thought there was 3 rules, but there are a couple of major rules that I have for the visuals for this game. The first major rule is that every single pixel on the screen needs to be one of the colors in my 8-color palette. So I only have 8 colors to work with. But when I say every pixel that ends up on screen needs to be that means that I can't do like transparency, because if I do a transparent element, it will blend with whatever's behind it and create a different color, right? So I can't use transparency. I have to use only the colors that are in my palette for everything, including shaders. And then for animations, I'm not allowed to do frame-by-frame animations. So all of the animations in the game are either animation players or shaders or tweens. So those are the hard rules I have about the visual design for this game. And I am very strictly adhering to those. Deal 2 damage. Every 3 executions deal 6 damage instead. Increases the... Well, that doesn't help, but that's okay. Apply 9 armor. That also doesn't help. Apply 1 fire for every 5 damage dealt. Corrupted. If this item is paralyzed, exhausted instead. Okay, so... Oh, I lost the passive ability. Where'd it go? Increase the critical chance of items on the top edge by 5% per corrupted ability. Oh, but this one does damage now, so let me think about this. I don't think I have a room for that. Thank you, Artificial Feelings, for the Unk alert. For 440 jewels, thank you. The whole game has 8 colors, yes. Yes, indeed, there are only 8. Is this a ritual item? It is. Do I put this here? This is not gonna do a lot of damage. I think this build is not good at all. I mean, we might as well just throw this one on here. Okay, my build is not great. Do we do obelisk or shop? Let's go obelisk. Increase the tier of this item by 1. The tier applied can exceed max. If the cooldown sum of items in this column is 25 seconds or greater, each item gains the following ability. Oh. Oh. 25 seconds. How do I get there? I don't think I can do this. Well, maybe. That's 10 right there. I can't use that one. That's 7.4. That's 12. Interesting. So I could potentially... Oh no, I can't. I need to increase that. That's not 25 seconds, that's only 18. Oh wait. Oh, the armor. Oh, this board effect is increasing. Oh. Well, I don't think there's a way for me to do this. I think I just wasted that choice. Okay. This is a horrendous build. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. It's going to be difficult to recover from. IDK if I'm saying this too early, but fire felt weak. Other players are saying that it feels okay. But I mean, everything's up. Everything's up in the air for balance. How did I get here? Hello, a regular human. Welcome. Stay hydrated for 550 joules. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. In before that, I made a game with only 8 colors Reddit post. No hate, I love it. Thank you, Jay and Archer. Appreciate that. They gave me 1,000 free rubies when I joined the stream, so I'm just getting rid of them. Good looking game, fun to watch while I'm making my first as well. Awesome. I'm not gonna get anywhere with this build, to be honest. Let's just upgrade this item. Will you show me later how you make animations, please? I'm really asking you to. I mean, the animations, I can show you one right now. So like the character we're playing right now. It's just, you know, cutting out all the pieces of the body here. So I just have all these different body parts. And then it's just an animation player for like the idle animation and the run animation. I am using an animation tree though for that, so I can blend between them. But that's it, and then it's just keyframe animation. So just animating all the individual parts of the body, make it look decent. So that's how I approach the character animation. The things like the drawers expanding and stuff, those are just tweens with some easing set. Pretty simple with how that works. I think I'm just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna win though. I can outlast these combats, but I can't do a lot about the boss, I don't think. This one feels weak. I may change buff Grand Jewel Fire. Where is that? Ooh, Hellspawn Egg. Okay, I may have to take that. Let's do it. I'm going to alchemize that together. And then, oh, wait a minute. Each item gains the following ability. I could use that, actually. Oh, corrupted ability on the egg, of course. Project to one random enemy item echo. Well, that's not great. But I could take the jewel off, put this here, and now I can get something with 15 damage on it. Put the scarab there. Deal 15 damage. Okay, that's a little bit more damage. This is now not doing anything. Do I use this? This corrupted ability projects to one random enemy item echo. That's not great. Give myself some more health. Artifact. Let's go for an artifact. Okay, starting to do some damage. Okay. You're welcome. Is that a game you created or you're playing something? This is the game I created, yeah. This is the... I have the Godot engine right here with... I mean, this is the character I'm playing right now, but... you know, like this is the scene for the drawer UI, which you can see in game, right? This stuff. All that here. So yeah, this is the game I made. And it's coming out this year, before the end of the year. So the Steam page is linked below if you're interested in checking it out. You know what I just realized? This looks off-center. Is that off-center? I guess it's not. I think what maybe it looks off-center is I think I'm expecting the board itself to be centered, but this is using the entire visual area. So I may want to make it so that the board is the thing that gets centered. Let's do that. Hiding for 10 jewels? Thank you. Thank you for the jewels. I still don't know what jewels are, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask. Thank you. Thank you, a regular human. How long have I been working on it? Since March of 2025. Bleed applied is guaranteed to crit from the Wendigo. Let's just grab that. Artifact. Oh, man. Swarm abilities will trigger an additional time. One by one items gain an additional ability. I mean, I guess I will take the cauldron. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done the shop. I don't have any money. Eldritch Star. Deal 34 damage if this item's cooldown is 10 seconds or greater. That is going to be the case, actually. I don't think I can work that into my board, though. Legendary alchemy output chances increased by 3%. I could get another Gorget. What do I want? I do want some... I don't have any money. I shouldn't have gone here. I guess I'll just take the honey. That'll be a good reagent to have. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if I die at the boss here. Well, not moment of truth yet. We got to get through this combat first. You made this game in less than 2 years. Yes. I mean, it's not finished yet, but yes, on track to make it in less than 2 years. Everything from scratch. This ultimately started as a empty Godot project, which is kind of wild to think about, but another honey. Oh, but I kind of want the skeleton mage, actually. Let's just take the 3 option one. Ooh, okay. I think I sense a fire build coming on. Actually, I don't think I'm going to do anything with this jewel. Goodbye. All right, let's see what happens. This looks easy. I think I'm going to move into a fire build if I get through this one. I actually think I'm going to win this one. Wow. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I got the fire and the heal abilities. Oh, and swarm fire. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the build's coming together now. Okay. Apply 1 fire per item that applies fire. So we need to get some fire. We gotta keep... I'm just gonna rework all this stuff. Okay. Keep this guy, put this guy on here, put this guy on here. Now I gotta be careful because I'm not gonna get my armor necessarily. This is corrupted. That's such a bad... I might try to make this tentacle work, actually. Let's do this with the warrior soul. And then... we got a 35% corruption chance. Do I dare do it? Let's go. Nice. Projects to adjacent items, apply to fire. Okay. So now we got to get this adjacency working. Let's see. Projects to adjacent items. And then we got swarm fire. Yes. We put this here. So it gains the swarm fire. We could put that there. Maybe we'll put that one there. Put this one in that row so we get armor from it. What is this one? Actually, we can make this work better. No, we want that to be adjacent. Maybe I can do this. Try to maximize the adjacency. I guess it doesn't really do much of anything. I gotta wait for this to hatch, and then I gotta fit that on my board too. We can put this one up here. Oh no, I want that to be there. Oh wait. Oh, this doesn't have the... Oh, this doesn't have the ability on it that I was thinking. Okay. No, we want to maximize the adjacency. Right, okay. Well, let's go for the artifact. Fire up. Do you have some kind of health decay after some time if the battle goes on for too long? Yeah, but it only affects the enemy. It only affects the enemy. I don't have any minions. Oh, I have one minion. Let's take this. Okay. Take the Basilisk Eye. That will paralyze a random enemy for 8 seconds. Corrupted reagent. Let's go for reagents. Flint. Actually, that would be useful. Actually, I might do that. Goodbye, Scarab. Please don't add a corrupted ability. Dang it. This item is not considered adjacent to any other item. Well, that's fine. I will take that. Oh, wait, no, I lost the passive for 50% crit chance. Oh, never mind. That's not fine. Apply 2 armor per fire applied. Okay. What am I going to do about this? Okay, goodbye, Wendigo. Sorry, we can't use you. Okay, let's see what happens. I have a fire build now, so let's see. Oh, I am losing it. Oh no, but my lantern kicked in. Hellspawn egg is hatched, look at that. And we've got another project, apply 2 fire. So now how do I fit this into the build? Actually, I might do these 2 together. It got another corrupted ability, are you serious? Apply 1 fire to self per item above. Oh, that's fine. Actually, this one's better. We can do this. Yeah. Let's just sell that. Am I a noob or runs without heal or armor are super hard? No, I mean, that's by design. Like, you should have to build at least a little bit of defense, unless you can get like a super overpowered offensive build. But yeah, if you're not building some kind of defense, either increasing your health pool or having some heal or some armor, you're probably going to have a hard time. Increase critical bonus by 7. So we got a 14 critical bonus now. We can go to the shop. Harvestmen. Actually, I'm going to take the maggot and put that here. Just for the extra swarm. Upgrade. Let's do this one. Let's see how this goes. Wow. I managed to turn this build around a little bit. 12 poison per instance of self-damage taken. Oh. No, I'm just going to sell everything. I keep getting that dang horse. It's not even implemented. It's like it doesn't do anything. Reagent? All items in this row are affected by artifacts an additional time. Let's just go left and we'll move this over. Oh. That was not what I wanted. Ah. Okay. Well, that doesn't really do much, but that's okay. We'll go this way. Pretty good, actually. That lantern is giving me a lot of armor. Maybe I should upgrade the lantern, actually. Just sell this. 2 reagents in a row. Contains a guaranteed legendary reagent. Ooh. What do I get rid of? I'm just gonna YOLO this. Well, let's do this first. I want to create a copy of this item. One left adjacent item. There we go. So now I've got 2 of these. They're exactly the same. So I put one here. Sell this guy, sell that guy. Move this up. Put that there. I think that will increase my... Remove all corrupted abilities. Oh. Why do I have this in my inventory? Top adjacent. Oh, this item's not considered adjacent to any other item. Oh gosh. Never mind. All right, let's go. Oh, wait, that was an echo. I probably shouldn't have sold that. Reroll. Reroll again. If an item has both fire and poison abilities, it gains convert poison applied to fire. I honestly don't think I want any of these. Alright, let's see how this boss goes. Oh, I'm not... Oh, what happened to all my armor? I must have removed something that was giving me a lot of armor. What did so much damage to me? Or did my lantern... No, my lantern only applied 30... Interesting. Well, let's try again. Nope, this is going to be the end of me. Goodbye, everybody. Oh! I made it. Swarm applied 4 poison. Actually, that's another swarm ability. So we could do that. Witch dust. Ooh, lots of flint. Sell this guy. Am I going to use this one? Probably not. Let's just bring... I can get Echo, though. Adds a falling ability to one random item on the left edge. I don't know if I should do this because I might get a corrupted ability. Let's just see how the boss goes. We'll see how the boss goes and then we'll see. Alright. Passive projects all tags to top adjacent items. Okay. Interesting. This might be a tough one. Yep. I just got destroyed. I don't have any more resurrection stones. Yeah, I guess I wasn't doing as much fire as I thought I was. Yeah, this is actually kind of weak fire numbers. Dowsing Rod was doing the most, actually. That's interesting. What did so much damage to me, though? I mean, I only had 31 health, so if I wasn't stacking enough armor, it wasn't going to go well. Yeah, like, I didn't really take a whole lot of damage. It's just like they shredded through my armor. Even the Hammer of Judgment didn't do that much armor damage. So yeah, I guess I must have just taken like... Oh, they applied bleed too. That probably would have been a problem. Well, I have lost. But yeah, that's the game. Kind of fun to take a break and just play it, but I think I am going to end the stream there, though. Always good to just test the game and see how it's feeling. Still not done with the tutorial, so I'm going to work on that later, but anyway, that's it for the stream for now. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you being here, and welcome to all the new people as well. If you're interested, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. The demo will be coming out in the near future, and then the release will be happening a few months after that, so... It's coming out. It's coming soon. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you, Path of Pizza. Thank you, Clickertail. Have a great day. I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, bye-bye.